Right, this is lesson 24, the volume of right pyramids. So last lesson we talked about the volume of our prisms. Today we're going to talk about the volume of a pyramid. So our formula is very similar, just adding another little piece to this. So for our formula, we've got to have 1/3 out in front, and then capital B times H. And remember that capital B means the area of our base. All right, so if we are finding the volume of our pyramid, it says round to the nearest tenth if necessary. I'm going to just underline our rounding directions. It says, what do we know? So what is the shape of our base? If I take a look here, our base is a rectangle. It's not a square because these two measurements on the bottom have to be the same if it was a square. So this is a rectangle. The area formula for our rectangle, again, remember, is length times width. And we are finding the volume. So volume equals 1/3 area of our base times our height. And remember, we are going to be plugging in this length times width. We can do it off to the side if it makes it easier for us. So let's find the area of our base. Length times width. So 3.2 times 1.4. I can solve that and multiply it out, 4.48. I'm going to take that and plug it in for B. Another way to do this as well is that I can rewrite, instead of my capital B, I can plug in that formula, length times width times height. Since we calculated it though, I am just going to plug it in. So 4.48 times the height, and remember, it has to be a vertical height. So notice that this dot is right in the middle of our base and goes straight up to the tip top, the vertex of our pyramid. So times 2.8. Multiply everything together. I'm going to get a long decimal, 4.1813. I'm just going to do a couple of threes. All right. And then remember, we're rounding to the nearest tenth. So at the 1, look to the 8. 5 or above, we're going to give it a shove. So 4.2 inches, and then to the third power, or what we would say cubed. Okay, let's try another one. It says find the volume of our pyramid. Again, round to the nearest tenth. Says, what is the shape of our base? So if we take a look at our base here, this time we have a triangular base. So the base is a triangle, so that's going to change up how we write our formula, because we want area of a triangle this time, 1/2 base times height, or 1/2 length times width. And our volume equals capital B, 1/3 area of our base times the height of this three-dimensional shape. So our base, I'm going to find the area of that first. Area equals 1/2 base times height. And plug it in. So 8.1 times 6.4. Multiply that out. Should get 25.92, or let's start here, 1/2 times 51.84, and then 92. I'm going to plug that in, so 1/3, 25.92 times the height of the pyramid, which is 11. 1/3, multiply my two values, 285.12, and then 1/3 of that. 95.04, and we're rounding to the nearest tenth, should be my 0. My 4 is lower than a 5, so it's just going to stay 95.0 meters cubed. Okay, that is all for this lesson. Good luck on your homework.